What's up, guys? Today we're with Dr. Sylvia Tripp. I'm really excited. Actually, first time at the office, but she is a master in chiropractics and she specializes more in myofascial, like connective tissue stuff, right?
That's right.
So today I had a fun idea to go through more ankle mobility. She's going to show us more common problems that she sees in people. She's going to go through what my problems and kind of run you guys through what maybe I should be doing at home, how to help it, how to prevent injury. And I really think that you guys will probably get a lot of value out of this. So anyways,
I hope so too.
Cool. So what are we doing?
All right. Well, let's take a look at you first. So initial eval, I already can see your...
Yeah, you see that? Yeah, my knees are like...
So knees rotate into, and you can see your arch is dropped on both sides here, right? So
okay. No, yeah, come on this and maybe show them. So what did you see?
So you can see your arches are dropped pretty significantly here on both sides. And then because of that, you're going to have more of that Q angle. So your knees are going to drop in on that side too. And if you turn around the other way, and I'm going to pull your sock down a little bit if that's okay.
Yeah.
You can see it's not as bad as I would think, but slight rotation in and maybe a little, quite a bit worse actually on this right side.
I've heard I walk like a penguin sometimes.
That extra rotation, right? So if you look at his Achilles and you draw a line straight down, you can see it kind of C-shapes out this way. So that'll tell me really tight on that medial side, and it's actually going to be pulling on this outside piece. So getting these both stretched out would actually help your foot quite a bit more. So what I'm going to have you do is lie down face up for me, please. So for you, because again, both of these arches drop in, right? So those are called your navicular bones. So they're both rotating in this way. So I'm going to exaggerate it. So he rotates in. You see what that does to his knees?
Straighten them out.
And then you can see what that does to his hips there too. So for you, with that navicular bone drop, your heels are also going to compensate for it. And that's why you have that Achilles curvature. So everything's connected with each other. So ankle is a mobility joint. Knee is a stability joint, but hip is a mobility joint. So if this isn't moving properly, it's going to go to the next joint space, right? And that's how people can get knee issues because their ankle's not moving properly, or hip issues, or low back issues if their ankle's not moving properly. So this is a really big basis of what we want to look at. So what we're going to look at is range of motion. So I'm going to palpate in different movement patterns here.
Come on, get up there.
And you can feel how you're sticking.
Yeah.
So into that dorsiflexion position, and you feel that on both sides.
Yeah.
So right in through here. Okay. You feel a little bit of tenderness on the sides there? Okay. And because you're lacking that dorsiflexion, so when you have that toe off and that step off on this backside, so because you're not moving here properly, and it's probably honestly because that foot's rotated in, so what happens is you get this compensation pattern in your shins, okay? So this is gonna wanna over-activate and pull to allow that dorsiflexion to happen.
Gotcha.
But you're still limited in that.
Yeah.
So guess what happens? That Achilles and that calf gets really tight too.
Yep.
So that's why when you were saying earlier, you get those cramps at the bottom here.
Yep.
It's because part of those muscles attach down through here.
Gotcha.
Okay, we're going to loosen both that tibialis anterior and tibialis posterior, and then into your peroneals here as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you can feel that, can't you? Like, how do you walk around like that?
That's that's a good question. How are you functioning?
Yeah.
Also, with flat shoes.
Yeah.
Let's call you out.
No, call me out. That's. I want to see like real life. Like make it real, because for like my audience, if they're listening, I've had orthotics like you asked.
Right.
And then there's then they're too small over time.
And you also have to be careful with custom orthotics too, because people will try to upsell you on stuff that you don't necessarily need. So people with flatter, honestly, because I have really flat feet too.
Oh, really?
Okay. So for me, like I had custom orthotics made. I think I was in high school.
Yep.
And then they didn't tell me how to transition into that properly.
Oh.
And then I ended up with plantar fasciitis. I didn't have any foot pain before, but I ended up with plantar fasciitis because they didn't tell me what the heck I was supposed to do, right?
Yep.
So you are supposed to slowly transition into those things, but I wear like $25 orthotics now, and I don't need to spend $500 on those things. But it depends on the foot. It depends on the person. So for you, those are the ones I would recommend, are the
Gotcha.
like easy ones that are form fitting and just have a little bit of an arch to them.
Yeah, that's the thing, because mine, I think they were the custom and they were the hard actual custom. They do the
Those
whole.
those plastic ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so what it like then in college stuff, like I was telling you, I had a professor who was like all about the flat foot, letting your muscle like actually develop the strengthening and blah blah blah.
Right.
But then it's like the bridge. You're kind of just like crutching yourself in a sense, like to not activate how the muscle should be actually functioning.
Okay.
With the orthotic itself, So it's just like creating the bridge,
Right.
but you're not really activating anything to create the stability.
Right.
But anyways, I lost those. So then honestly, I was just flat-footed and wore shoes, and I was like, yeah. So that's just, like I said, I think it's more about instead of doing the right thing, I've just stayed away from the functions that cause the problems. But I know this over time, like right now, this is pretty intense. Not gonna lie, this is good though.
Brittany didn't worry.
No, I mean I feel like I'm after seeing like my uncle, like I said, and then now I'm gonna
You're well prepared though.
Dude, I'm gonna go to these physicians. They're just gonna rail on me and tell me everything wrong with me. It's great. Mm-hmm.
Part of the stuff I do is fascial manipulation too. So that's that connective tissue piece instead of just the myofascial. And so if you think about connective tissue, like on a chicken breast, the clear stuff that goes over it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that connective tissue. But that's that sharp sensation that you're feeling. And that's where those connective tissue pieces are intersecting with each other.
Yeah.
Think happy thoughts.
Well, this is good though for people, they can relate, I guess, with more flatter feet, right?
Yeah.
I would assume, you tell me, but on the opposite end, with really high arches, it's all inverted with the
Correct.
extensors and flexors and stuff, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Yeah.
You're going to do basically a 180 on the side.
Yeah.
But it's more common for people. There's not very many people that have super high arches. It's typically people who have flatter feet. And honestly, the high arch ones, I recommend super feet has a tendency of doing a lot better for them, honestly. Again, instead of those customs.
So then, right now, like I was just showing people, so essentially just trying to get things loosened up.
Correct. So muscles attached to bony structures, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I just adjust you,
Yeah.
and I just move the bone, and I don't adjust the muscle, what's the bone going to do if the muscle's tight?
Yeah, it's probably not going to end well.
No. It's going to go right back to where it was before.
Yeah.
So that's why that soft tissue piece is so important. And then you doing exercises and mobility stuff on top of that is so important too, to help sustain that and kind of get your body back into that rhythm that you want to be in, right?
Gotcha. Yeah, I think, and we were talking, oh yeah. Hey! I'll ask the question in a second.
Oh, good.
Which doesn't help too, just like trying to build more muscle, and then it makes it worse. Not much more tight.
Little adjustment here. Okay, good. All right, do you mind flipping over for me?
Yeah. I don't know what I was gonna ask. Oh, with chiropractic stuff.
Yeah.
You tell me if this is valid or not, but I've heard like some people go in and then they say, "Oh man, I feel like it was worse afterwards," and I feel like I try to put theories out, right?
Yeah.
Like the information. I'm like, well, did they loosen up the muscles like you're doing right now and all that? Because have you seen when people do it maybe incorrectly, where they do an adjustment, but everything's so tight it actually tears through things, or it kind of
it causes like a muscle spasm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I was adjusted. I had a bad experience with my first chiropractor. So I am overly cautious with that stuff. And that's why I think I do more of that soft tissue work. So
Gotcha.
My first chiro, very heavy-handed, adjusted me so hard. He actually hurt me, same thing. So my neck strained, and I had that muscle spasm, exact thing that you're talking about. And it was my CT junction. And I was afraid of chiropractic for a long time because of that. But I learned through chiro school, I mean, honestly, to do a cervical adjustment, it's this much pressure, and that's it. Like,
Really?
It barely feels like anything.
Interesting.
So you find the right joint space, and you get everything loosened up, then it should move really easily, right?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be anything that's forced. It shouldn't be anything to cause strain. If it is, it's just not the right thing to do.
Kind of like eliminating the guarding and just like kind of letting everything relax. So the all that stuff should kind of glide it, make it properly if it's all relaxed, right?
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
So I'm doing Graston technique right now.
Graston,
With a
okay.
nice little rock blade. Have you had this done before?
Actually, no, I don't think so. It's just like a scraping thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I actually haven't had this done. Kind of explain the theory behind this. This is just pushing things around.
Yeah, basically. So what I'm working on. So you kind of feel those bumps as I'm going over them. So that's muscle.
Okay.
So your muscle groups and your muscle tissue, there's something called actin and myosin, and they bind together with each other.
Oh, yeah.
So when you're contracted, or when you have contractions, they bind and then they shorten and they extend, right? But when you have not necessarily scar tissue, but maybe more adhesion structures, so those muscle fibers kind of get crisscrossed, so it looks like this. So they overlap with each other. And that's that washboard sensation that you're feeling. So essentially what I'm doing, I'm damaging that muscle fiber, so I'm making them uncrossed and then allowing tissue healing. So you are actually healing it yourself.
Gotcha.
So what I'm doing is bursting your capillaries. I'm going to cause some bruising to happen, and that is completely intentional. So I'm causing something called petechia. So that blood flow and that oxygen helps feed those muscles, allows them to regenerate on their own.
Gotcha. People talk about resistance training, with hypertrophy. It's like a surface layer with the soft tissue and the actual lining of how the fibers are laying themselves. It sounds like,
That's exactly right.
Interesting.
So what I'm going to have you do, and you can see he's getting red there.
It's good.
So what I'm going to have you do is actually pump your foot back and forth here. And you could feel, and I'm using the same exact pressure. You feel how it intensifies on you quite a bit? Okay. So obviously muscles are not just static. So you want to train them and work them in that movement pattern as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. And you can feel that again more on the inside.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to check your hamstring here too. A little pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Check your glute here, okay?
Okay.
So you can feel quite a bit of tightness actually on those external rotators right here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you foam roll here?
I'm gonna be honest now. I don't do enough of the stuff that I need to be doing.
Just don't foam your IT band, okay?
Yeah.
But please do foam roll into that TFL and that glute med.
Okay.
Okay, flip over again.
Ooh. I think as over time, maybe that's what you've seen. So when you're like younger, right?
Yeah.
Everything's just, you're bulletproof. It seems like flexible. Everything's, over time, especially it could be just an average person, average gym goer, and maybe gain some muscle, or if it's more of an athlete. I feel like the more muscle accumulation I've had over time, these things become more and more important because whether it's like the fascial layer just like bounding up, or the soft tissue like you're talking about is like crisscross. It's just, you notice how much more tightness with more skeletal muscle on your body that can occur, I feel like. At least from my experience, and that's
also I think you become more aware of that stuff too, right?
That makes 100%.
Okay, so I want you to feel, obviously we haven't really touched this one. Remember how jammed up this side was? You feel
that goes way up high. Yeah.
So again, I mean, you can't really reverse that navicular drop. You can help it, and you can help stabilize it, but a lot of it's going to be from stretching, so working on these muscles in the front here, and then stretching those calf muscles and help open that up, and then again rolling that bottom of the foot like we talked about. But one other thing I want to check.
Yeah.
So you get a little restriction into the flexion of your big toe.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if it was my left or my right. I broke, I don't know what you want to call it, a small fracture, whatever, the sesame bones underneath it, tiny ones. Yeah, I don't know if I want to put that. I mean, I'll tell a story. So I was in high school, and I wanted to learn how to do a backflip.
All right.
Well, that didn't go well. My buddy showed me, and I did fully rotation until the last time I tried it. I couldn't land back on my feet. Okay. So I landed with my foot straight into the ground and jammed that toe joint. Yeah. So broke all that. My foot was pretty large and purple for a while.
Did you get treated for that afterwards?
I think they told me you can't really fix that bone. I can't really fix that, so it was I just stabilized it for a while.
Cast you or anything like that?
She was the AT at the high school at the time. Her name was Mindy. Because I had a basketball, because I used to play basketball. Huge, like, it was like an AU, it was like a camp thing. It was a tryout at Spokane at Gonzaga. And I was like, my parents paid a lot of money for this. I need to figure this out. Like, be pissed at me. So I just put like a flat, hard plate and wrapped it up and just stuck it in there so I had no mobility of the foot itself and just compensated for the weekend. But then after that, I just kind of, I don't remember what we did.
Horrible. Okay.
It was kind of my choice, though. I said I had to do it. It wasn't hers. So she was great.
It's all right. I've done something similar before. I was snowboarding.
Yeah.
First run of the day. It's either the first or the last
right?
run, right?
It's always something stupid.
It's always something stupid. And I went on a rail, and I just ate it. I slipped. I landed on my elbow. I jammed my shoulder. I wasn't sure what I did to it, and I went and just got it wrapped, and then I snowboarded for the rest of the day, and then got it checked out when I got home. Again, super stupid, but you know, first run of the day, that's not going to slow you down.
Right?
So I get it. We make bad choices sometimes.
Yeah.
Hopefully just learn from them.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, I haven't tried a backflip since, so.
So we're working on those peroneals again, just on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are tight.
Figured it'd be probably good to keep you even on both sides.
Yeah.
And just leave you with one more mobile ankle.
Just start limping around.
See?
My strides will be totally different off, yeah.
But yeah, so honestly, what you can do for the front here, if you have, I mean, you've seen the tiger stick thing before, right? The TheraBand one. If you don't have that, you can use a rolling pin.
Oh, really?
People have in their kitchen.
Okay.
And then just roll into that front piece and
Okay.
get it to relax. Then calf stretches, or you can foam roll on them. It's pretty intense, but you can just do a bottom stair step too. Okay. Bend this in for me.
Hold your breath. Mm-hmm.
At least you know what to expect now.
Yeah. This is good.
He says between gritted teeth. So you feel that nodule right there? So that's just what we're trying to get. There we go. And you can feel it release. Way less intense. Okay. And I mean, with that alone, you can feel just a little bit more movement.
Yeah.
But you're still, compared to this side,
yeah,
you still have that little bit of sticking, right? So I'll have you flip over again for me, and we'll grasp your other calf.
Is my face red yet? Is it? Yeah, last one it got me. I was like, oh, here we go. This is the one. Yeah, it's a whole new world for me though with all the. That's why I kind of wanted to come and do this too. It's just I'm learning actually myself because the soft tissue stuff, connective tissue, just all of that. I've sent a lot of clients, just people in because I can do only so much, and it's like then it's actually looking into things deeper and what's actually going on with the body's functionality, and the like you said that poor mobility, or it could be just totally messed up. It could be anatomical or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
congenital, like you're born with it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the really cool thing about the human body, though, is if it's congenital. So if you look at, all right, so
here we go.
Example, golf swing.
Uh-huh.
Every single golfer has a different golf swing. And it's based on their body type, their athleticism. I mean, there's so many, their height, the club that they use. There's so many factors that go into that, right? So even if you have something congenitally different about you, your body adapts to it. So you might not even have pain with that stuff. Yeah. Because you've already adapted to those things. And the thing that gets difficult is, let's say you're a volleyball player and you've been serving the ball a certain way for your whole life. No pain, nothing like that. And all of a sudden, coach decides, That's not the perfect way to hit the ball. Have you seen this before?
I've seen that. What it makes me think of is people squats, like in my realm,
yeah.
and dorsiflexion, knees going over the toes and everything, right? And it's like, hold up a second.
And that's when you start getting knee pain. That's when you start getting issues, right? So I change the way your body performs, and your body's performing well. That's when you get hurt.
Yeah. Yep.
And so, yeah, exactly. Same thing with squats, right?
Yep.
Because what did we used to tote? Don't bring your knees over your toes.
Yep.
Like, your feet have to be straight. And
Yep.
then we're not thinking your hip shape is different than my hip shape.
Yep.
So
and your
where my feet
femurs
rest,
and your everything. Yep.
Got it.
Yeah. Oh.
So
Yeah.
point your toe down. Yeah. So this is a little tighter. And then point down again. Back up. Ooh. Give me one more. Look at that muscle twitch. Okay. Pull it for me. Check it. So you feel much better that moves?
Not sticking as much,
And I didn't even adjust that thing. Which I am gonna now, but clear it the rest of the way. All right, one more. Good. All right, that's it.
Was it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty easy.
I like it. Nice. Cool. Well, yeah, I think for like people watching, you don't know, where are you located at down here?
Next to the Trek Bike Shop.
Okay, it's like off 4th. This is in
Between
Coeur
4th and
d'Alene for people
Birch.
watching. This is in Coeur d'Alene. It's more downtown. It's like 4th and Birch.
Yeah.
So if you're having some pain, if you're having some mobility issues, maybe you want to get checked out. Honestly, I would recommend. Most people don't even know, right? I feel like people live in a world. This happens with like health too, with hormonally, but
Right.
live in a world that's like becomes normal because like a slow.
Well, you adapt
gradual,
to it. Exactly.
right? You're adapting, and then all of a sudden you're like not doing the same stuff as you used to. Usually what I see is like hobbies and stuff, like oh my back or my head.
Right. But then we equate it to being normal because we're getting older. And I've even heard that from someone as young as 26. Like, oh, my back hurts because I'm old. I'm getting older. Because his primary care physician told him that.
Oh my God,
that's you're hitting your peak age right now.
Right now, yeah. So if something feels off, definitely come and visit Mrs. Dr. Sylvia Tripp. and she'll go through some stuff. For me today, I even asked her about the ankle mobility because I knew I had flat feet. I know it's like a problem that I've just been mitigating, for a while. But really great info today. Thank you so much.
For sure.
I think that you probably, with other people, a lot of times I see with hips, up your spine. I'm assuming, going through all that.
Oh, yeah.
Shoulder surgeries, like that's a painful one I often find.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you've seen some crazy stuff.
Yep. Frozen shoulder too, common after surgeries as well.
Cool. Yeah. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching or listening. Really great info today, and talk to you guys next time. See ya.